In this Discord tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make roles in Discord. First, you're going to go to a server that you are either an administrator for or you own the server. You can then click on the top here on this drop-down arrow. Then click Server Settings. From here, you're going to click the Roles tab. We have no roles on the server, so the first thing we're going to do is hit Create Role. We can then name a role. For this role, we are going to create a member. We then will choose the color of the role. For this server, I want the members to be green. We then have a few options below. The first option is to choose an image. As you can see in these examples, the image would be small and located right next to their name in your server. This image would associate with the role, so when given the role, this image will appear next to their name. This is a Nitro feature and it's not accessible to all users. Then we have a few options below. Display role members separately from online members. Now if I close this real quick, you can see the member list on the right here. What that means is if I give a member role to someone, they will appear different from online and offline, and they will actually have their own tab that says member, so they will be separate. Below this is a tab that allows anyone to mention this role. What that means is that you can type the @ symbol followed by this role, and every person that has this role will get mentioned and tagged in this server. So for this, we are going to turn this on and this on, and hit Save Changes. From here, we can go to the top and click the Permissions tab. Now we can go through the permissions one by one. This first permission is to view channels. This is pretty basic and means, can they view channels in this Discord? Private channels are an exception because those have permissions to be viewed. So we're going to turn this on because we want these members to talk in our Discord. Manage channels. Now these are going to be members, so we don't necessarily want these members to be able to create and add channels. So we're going to keep that off. Next is manage roles. Again, we are creating a member role here, so we do not need members to be able to manage other roles. So we're going to keep that off. Create expressions. This is to add custom emojis, stickers, and sounds in the server. That is really up to you if you want to keep that on, but I'm going to keep that off. Manage expressions, same thing. That's to be able to manage current expressions on the server. So I'm also going to keep that off. Again, this is a member, so we do not need them to view the audit log. The audit log is every action that is taken in the server is logged so you can see who did what and who changed what in your server. The next thing is manage webhooks. We don't need members to manage webhooks or manage the server, so we're going to keep both of these off as well. These are more of your member permissions, so we're going to be turning most of these on down here. Create an invite. Now, if you want your members to be able to invite other people, turn this on. For this reason, I'm going to turn it on. Sometimes you might not want a member to be able to invite people if it's more of a private server, so you might have this off. Now, change nickname. That is going to allow a member to change their nickname that is custom to this server. So their nickname could be different in this server from what their actual Discord name is, and everyone in the server will see them as this. So for this reason, we're going to turn this on and allow our members to have a bit of customization to their name. They should not be able to manage nicknames because that's other members. We're going to go through these three real quick: kick, ban, and timeout. Kick is just remove them from the server and they can join back with a separate invite link. Ban means they'll never be allowed back in the server until they are unbanned, no matter what invite link they have. And timeout means they cannot send messages, reply to threads, react to messages, or speak in voice channels for a certain period of time. We don't need our members doing that to any of the other members, so we're going to keep all those off. Down here to our text channel permissions, we have send messages, which we want our members to be able to talk in our server, so we're going to turn that on. We also want them to be able to talk in threads and create public threads and private threads. Threads are when you start a message and you want to start a conversation from that one message, so you can actually separate your conversation from the chat. We do want our members to be able to embed links if they want to share anything and attach files. We also want our members to be able to add reactions so that they can use emojis and other Discord images to be able to react to messages or anything posted in the chat. We also want them to use external emojis to kind of customize their experience and use external stickers. We do not actually want our members to be able to mention at everyone or at here, because that should be a very admin role to be able to mention everyone, because if you allow your members to do that, there could be a lot of trolls with the permissions they have being able to do this, and they could be spam tagging everyone in your server. We do not need them to manage threads, manage messages, or read message history, so we're going to skip through all that. That's more admin stuff. You can add text-to-speech messages, but in my experience, this just creates havoc, so we're going to keep that off. We do not need members to use application commands or send voice messages. These are just things that are not necessary. Now, in terms of the voice channel permissions, we do want our members to be able to connect to voice channels. We do want them to be able to speak in voice channels. And we do want them to be allowed to share video in voice channels. We do not need members using activities or using the soundboard in the server because the soundboard can become a little troll for a member to use. If you want to customize it and it's more of just you and your friends, go ahead and turn the use soundboard on. We don't want use external sounds because that will take sounds from other servers. We do want use voice activity because this other requires to use push to talk, which then members must push a button while they're talking in order to be heard. But here, this will just detect voice and pick up. Priority speaker is very important if you are trying to have someone speak over others because that will allow their volume of voice to be a lot higher than the others in the chat. And the others will not be able to speak over the priority speaker. We do not need our members to mute, deafen, or move anyone. That is more admin permissions. They can mute themselves and deafen themselves, but they do not need to be able to mute and deafen others. We also do not need our members to create voice channel status because that is more of an admin permission again. If we scroll down here to events permissions, we can have create events and manage events. Again, not a member thing, so we're going to keep that off. Now, the overall powering permission is the administrator permission that allows you to basically do pretty much everything. So you definitely want to have this off unless you are creating an admin role. Now that we're done with all those permissions, we can hit save changes and we can now hit escape. We have now created a role in Discord.